I'm Kayla from La Terraza, and I'm here today to show you how you can paint your box from your gift box set. So the idea with these is that you kind of paint them to almost look like a wrapped present, so you can paint a pattern on them to look like wrapping paper. Of course, you can paint it any way you want, but if you like the idea of making it kind of look like a little present, I'm going to show you how to make hearts, snowmen, flowers, dots, and designs like that with your paintbrush that are really simple and easy to replicate, so you can make a wrapping paper pattern. The things that you'll get in your kit is, of course, a box. This is our round circle box. We also have a box that's shaped kind of like a hexagon and an oval shaped box. These are great for putting trinkets in and things like that. You're also going to get a large and a small detail brush. You're of course going to get your acrylic paints. You have white, red, green, blue, silver, and gold. You can use all of them. You can use just a couple. It's totally up to you. And then you're going to get this cute little bow that gets to go on top of your box, so it kind of looks like a wrapped present. And I'm going to show you how you can make your wrapping paper box either look like this one or some other patterns that you can try. All right, so the first thing we want to do is decide what color is going to be the background for your box. Of course, you could paint more than one color. I'm just going to go with this dark green here because I really like that color. And I'm going to do this with my big brush. So I'm getting my dark green and I'm going to cover the entire outside. When you paint with acrylic paint, you don't need to get a lot of paint on your brush because you want the paint to be kind of thin. It's better for the paint to be a bit streaky and you do 2 layers rather than you glob it all on and let it be lumpy, because with acrylic paint sometimes it'll kind of burst and the paint will start to peel. So do a thin layer. If it looks streaky, after it dries I can do a second layer, but I'm going to focus on just getting 1 layer on here first. Alright, I'm all done painting my background. I just left this part inside white because you'll pretty much never see that part. Now I'd recommend you let it either air dry or use a hair dryer to dry it, so I'm going to dry mine real quick. Okay, so now that this is all dry, I wanted to show you some different designs that you could do with your little detail brush. Now you can obviously paint whatever you want. The idea of the kit though is that it kind of looks like wrapping paper. So I'm going to show you a few simple designs that you can do with the back of the paintbrush that you could make multiples of. So if you wanted to have that patterned wrapping paper look, you can. So first of all, some of the most simple designs would be dipping the back of your brush in paint. And you can either swirl it a little bit to make it a big dot or dot it once and you get a little tiny one. And that can look really cute to pick maybe like 2 colors and just kind of pattern them throughout. Every time you dot it, it gets smaller and smaller, so if you want them all the same, you're going to have to keep redipping it every single time. So that's one kind of pattern you can do, it's just dots. Another good one is taking the back of your brush and making 2 circles that are the same size right next to each other. Then with the actual brush part, you make a line coming down from the middle and then you kind of make a diagonal line from the side of each dot down to that point and you get a nice heart. And that's an easy way that you can make a bunch of hearts that have the same size and shape. Another fun one that's a little bit more complicated and more time consuming, but it's a fun one to do if you want to have something a little more detailed, would be dipping your brush in white and doing 1 bigger circle, 1 medium circle, and 1 small circle, and that'll make you a snowman. However, I gotta quick dry it before I do the next step. Keep in mind, if you are gonna be overlapping colors on these dots, they do take a while to dry. So be really patient, maybe do all the snowmen in white first and then like go have a snack or something and come back and it can be ready. But to make your snowman, then you're gonna use your brush and do 2 little tiny dots on the smallest circle. Do a little straight line with a square or rectangle on top for a top hat. Then you make 2 or 3, however many buttons you want on that middle circle. And then I think it looks cute to take a different color, blue, red, whatever, and make a little line between the head and the body, and then make it a little scarf. So that one's pretty fun. I think that one's really cute, but like I said, that one's a bit more time consuming than some of the others. One more simple one would be flowers. So you could do a color for the center. I'm gonna take some of my gold, and I'm gonna do a little circle like that. And then whatever color you want the petals to be, I'll do blue since I haven't done much of it. So you make one circle, and then you just make little circles for each petal of your flower going around the center. Alright, so there are just a couple of those fun patterns you can do with the back of your paintbrush using just dots. They're simple. You could practice on a piece of paper first, and then once you decide what you want to do on yours, you're just going to do it all over the outside of your box. So I'm going to quick do that now. I think I'm going to go with the hearts because I really like how those look. Something you need to be careful of, like I said before, is that these dots do take a little bit of time to dry. So you want to be careful not to touch them when you just painted them, otherwise you're going to smudge them. So this kind of project does take a little bit of patience. There's no rush. Notice how I'm trying to paint on the sides too, because again, if I'm thinking it's trying to look like wrapping paper, I'd want to have the patterns be all over. Alright, and I'm all finished now painting all my designs on the outside. Of course you could paint something on the inside too, but I'm going to leave that blank for now. Our last step with this is we want to make our gold for our ribbon. So what you want to do is you want to look at the top of your box and first of all decide which way you want to be, like right side up. So I'm going to have it be this one where most of the hearts are all facing the same direction. And then if it matters, place it on the base too to make sure that the base has it lines up the way you want. So I'm gonna leave it closed for now. And I'm gonna take my gold paint with my brush and I am going to make a plus sign on here, basically. Of course, make sure that your stuff is all dry before you do this, but I already did that. If I hold my brush like a pencil and rest my wrist on something, or in this case, I'm kind of grabbing my wrist to keep my hand steady, that always helps me a lot. Don't be afraid to let your ribbon kind of go over one of your designs. It's not a big deal. It just makes it look more like wrapping paper. And now keeping my box closed, I'm going to just have that line go all the way down the side. All right, and then again, make sure this is all dry. And then the last thing we're gonna do, which is for some reason I'm very excited about, is you're gonna take your little bow, you're gonna take off the little protective backing from the sticky side, and you're gonna carefully stick this right in the middle of your plus sign. And then just kind of press it down. And you are all finished with your little box that looks like a little present. I think it's super cute. It's a lot of fun. You can make any patterns you want. And then you can put whatever kind of trinkets you want inside.